What's going on, my friends? DJ Lowstacks here. Welcome back to the channel. Today what we're going to be doing is diving into the ADJ WMX1, also known as the Wolfmix. So this is a standalone lighting controller. How this works is you don't need to have it plugged into a computer. All you have to do is have it plugged into power, and then you have to run DMX one way or another to your lights. Now there's several ways that you can go about that. So what I want to talk about today, we're going to talk about different ways to connect to the Wolfmix. We're going to show you how to add fixtures to the Wolfmix, and then we're going to just kind of dive a little bit into the presets and getting into the live edits and that type of stuff. I think there's going to be two videos here. If I did one on all of this, it's going to be pretty long. So I want to start with the basics. We'll get started with that. Just an overview of the controller. There is some other content out there on this thing, but I've watched a bunch of videos and I had to teach myself a lot of it by myself, right? I'm going to show you guys what I've learned and how I set up my presets and my shows and all of that, and my workflow and what works for me. So for starters, let's talk about connecting to the Wolfmix. So as I mentioned, there's multiple different ways you can do that. The easiest of those is going to be hardwired. So that's just through a hard, regular old DMX cable. This is just a 6-footer or something, but you could run this directly out of the Wolfmix into your fixture. Another way that you could do it is through one of these wireless dongles. So this is a donor or whatever, donor wireless dongle. So this is just, it's not powered. You have to run power to it. So it has its own power supply cable that plugs into it. And you plug this into your Wolfmix, and then it sends a wireless DMX signal out to your fixtures. So the third way, and the way that I recommend the most, is also wirelessly, but it's through this box here. So what this is it's very similar to this, but it sends a much more powerful signal. So it's a boosted DMX signal. It has 3 different boost settings. So I think setting 1 is probably equivalent to this, and then there's a setting 2 and a setting 3 that just amplify that wireless signal even higher. So with this thing, I've had uplights really far away that connect no problem, and I've had some issues in the past with uplights not connecting when you're using a dongle like this. So this would be my recommendation. I will leave links down in the description to pick this up off Amazon or one of these. But again, like I said, it's a little bit more of an investment for this, but I would recommend this the most, as you're going to get your most bang for your buck, and it's a set it and forget it kind of thing. Once you get it set up, it's just going to work. It's good to go. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch the camera around, get a little top-down view of the Wolfmix, and we will start with just an overview of some presets that I already have made, a show that I already have made, and then we'll start from scratch, and I'll show you guys how to load fixtures and just how to get started. All right, so here we have the Wolfmix. This is the home screen, and this is a program that I already have created. This was for a school dance that we did back early December, and I just want to walk you through some of the settings that I have in here, and from there, I want to completely start from scratch and show you guys how to add fixtures and do all of that. So as you can see here, you have A, B, C, and D. So those are your different fixtures, essentially, is how I have it set up. But I have my wash FX hexes. I have my bar 5050s, which those are the pixel bars. I have my spot 475Zs, and I had my 140 SRs. So I had 2 of those, 2 of those, 4 of those, and 2 of the wash lights. So right here from the start screen, you can see that there's color effects, move effects, and beam effects. So the wash lights and the bars do not have move effects. That's because they're not movers, so they don't move. You can independently control the color effects. You can determine which ones you want to have the effect on for, which ones you don't. So you don't have to have the effects on for all of them. So like for example here, you could do, let's have the color effects on for these, and then we will have just the, let's say this. Okay, we want the spots to be their own color, so we're not going to mess with the color there. So we're going to only have the color effects on for the wash and the bars. So then what you do is you're going to go into color effect here, You can go in, you can choose. So what this does is this is going to determine what colors are on and which are not. So you can go here, you can select all the colors if you want it to be like full on rainbow, or say we're doing a party that's red, white, and blue. So we're going to do leave just red, white, and blue on. So now our wash FXs and our bars are only going to do red, white, and blue. So pretty cool. And then what you're going to do there is once you get your show going, you can go back in and you can do the same thing for your movers. So you can select move or color. Let's go into color here. Let's say we want our movers to only be blue. So now blue is lit. Our movers will only be blue. So the only color that the movers will be going will be blue. So then you go into move and you can select. This is where it gets cool. So this is just for the moving heads, but you can go in here and you're going to be able to select different movements, right? There's all these preset movements here. This is like an up and down. This is a side to side. This is circles. This is an 8-ball. This is a genie. This is like a disco where they just kind of do this. This is like an air traffic controller kind of thing. And then these lights here, what this is going to do, this determines the area that your movers are going to affect. So if you want them more towards the ground, you're going to light it up down here. If you only want them pointing up towards the ceiling, you're going to go over here. Or if you want them just to the right or just to the left. Or for me, I like them in the middle. So I want them to go do a full motion. So you light up the center. Now they're going to have full motion. Down here, this is going to be your speed control. So speed control, you can do manual. You can go to the music, so it actually has a microphone built in, or there's actually a 3.5 millimeter aux input, so you could run audio directly into the Wolfmix if you wanted to. And then this one is a mic, so this one is going to pick up the audio, from the mic that's built into this. Here is if you wanted to set it to a BPM, so you wanted to do 120, or you could do by bars, or however you want to do that. Then there's phase. Then there's the size. So the phase is going to be the order of the movements. The size and the fan, that's going to be how it spreads out and all that type of stuff. And then when you go into beam, so beam is going to be what the lights are doing. So how they're, you already selected the colors, right? So this is going to be a wave. So this is going to be a fade. So it fades in and out. This is like a twinkle. This is going to be a hard cut from the different ones. This is a heartbeat. So it's kind of, it's almost like it's very similar to this flicker here, but there's a heartbeat. So a bunch of different options there. Here, like with this stuff, what I highly recommend is just play around with it. Get your lights set up, just mess around with it, get stuff going. And then what you're going to do from there is you're going to start making your live edits. So live edits in here, what I've done is I've gone in and I've made some different movements for the movers. So this is for the prisms. So I've got a slow prism spin. So the moving head, and this is actually just for the 140 SRs. Or take the back. This is for the 475s. So slow prism rotation, medium prism rotation, fast prism rotation. This is for the 140s. Same thing. Slow prism, medium prism, fast prism. And then over here, this is gobos. So I've got different gobos. These gobos are for the 140s. These gobos are for the 475s. So cool stuff there. And then another thing that you can do, so once you get your live edit set up, I use that just for the gobos. So you can do all these effects, then you can assign your gobos and assign your prisms and get all that stuff going. And once you get a show going that you like, what you're going to do is you go into preset here. And like here, I've got some presets already made. This is a slow white wave. So these three here are kind of like beginning of the night, like very just chill kind of shows. So it's just slow white wave, so the lights are just kind of doing a wave and it's all white. Slow 8, so it's a figure 8 that's white, but you can override that with the color. So if you go into color, you could override it and make it a specific color if you wanted to. And that's ceiling circles, so basically they're just pointed at the ceiling, kind of doing a circle pattern. And then this is where it gets cool. So here, these are my presets. So what I've done is I went through and I started here at color, got my color stuff figured out, got my move stuff figured out, got my beam figured out. I got the lights doing something cool that I liked, right? Then what you do is you go in, you save it as a preset. So how that works is if these weren't lit up, so right here, you would go in, when it's doing its thing, you would hit preset. Shift and then preset, sorry. So you have to hit shift, then preset. So you name it. Once you name it, whatever you want, you hit check. And then what you're gonna do from there is you're gonna assign how long you want this show to go. So we wanna do it we want to stay on that show for 30 seconds. So there we go. You go to 30, boom, you got it right there. So now this show is gonna play for 30 seconds before it switches to a different show. So hit that, boom. Now we got preset 61 right there. It's saved in here. So another thing that's really cool about the Touch Mix, or the Wolfmix, is you can go here. So here's a list of presets, right? So you got presets here. This is how you play them. So all these are different. They're different movements, different motions, all that stuff. And how you play it is you get one going, right? And you hit play here. So we're gonna hit play. We want to play just the column. You can play all, you can play the page, you can play the column, you can play the row. So let's go with row. We're gonna hit play. Now it's gonna start going. See the little timer in the corner? It's gonna go, and I have all these set for I think either 20 or 30 seconds. So it's gonna go to 20 or 30, and it's gonna switch to the next one. I like to do random. So if you go to random right there, that's my favorite one. It just kind of bounces around and does whatever. If you don't want to do it that way though, you can actually pause that. You can go sync, and you can go to the music. So you can actually have it go for 32 bars, 16 bars, 8 bars, 4 bars, whatever. I usually do 16. So you can go on 16, turn that on. Now what it's going to do is it's only going to go for, it's going to listen, and it's only going to play for 16 bars. Then it's going to change to the next scene. So some cool things over here. So actually here's gobos. So you can mess around with the gobos here. There's different gobos that I've got set. You can go into position. So position is going to be just different like static positions that I've created. So I've got floor, center point, ceiling point. And then over here down the side, you got some cool things as well. So you got the ADJ button. So what this button does, this is like the let's go fucking crazy button. So basically what this does, when you push this, it just makes all the lights just flicker, flash, do all sorts of crazy stuff. Same thing, you can strobe. So you can just go in and hit strobe. Blinder, this is a cool one. So blinder, what that does is that just lights up all the lights super bright. So boom, it's just a blinder, blinds everybody. Then you can black out, so if you wanted to black everything out. You can also DMX a smoke machine in here if you wanted to. So you can have the smoke, have that thing going. So that's all pretty cool. So what I want to do now though, I want to go, we're going to go home, and I want to go into settings. We're going to go to projects, and we're going to hit save, because I want to save the existing one that I'm doing here. We're going to save it into a new one here. Save. We're going to call this one Bob, because that was from the New Year's Eve event that I did. It's a little bit different than the other one. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go here, we're going to go projects, we're going to go new project, and we have a blank slate now. This is a clean slate. We got nothing on here. Nothing, you know, no fixtures, no nothing. So completely clean slate. So for starters, first thing you got to do, figure out how you're going to connect to your lights through DMX. Are you going to do it with cables or wireless or whatever? But then you're going to go in here, you're going to go to fixture. You're going to go to add fixture. Click that right there. We're going to go to Chauvet. And then we're going to go down here to, let's find an Intimidator. We'll find something that we own. Intimidator Hybrid. So that's the 140 SRs. We want to add 2 of those. So we're going to do 2 lights. We're going to hit add. We want to go 19 channel mode. And those are going to be group A. So assign those to group A. So now, if we get back out of here, it's going to come to the main screen. And group A right here is our 140 SRs. So we're going to go back in here. We're going to go to groups. We're going to rename A. So hit this, and we're going to call these 140 SR, check, perfect. Now we go back here. Now column A is named 140 SR. So you can do the same thing for your other fixtures, whether they're uplights or movers or whatever. Add those to a slot there. And then you're going to go in and you're going to start programming. So like I was saying, you're going to go in, you can select color. So turn color on, turn move on, turn this on. Get the lights, go in here, play around, get the lights doing something that you like, something that's cool. And then go in and save your preset. So another thing I want to show you here, we're going to go into fixtures. So this is something that's really cool. So what you can do here if you wanted to, so I showed you the parameters on how to, under the move settings, how you could set the different parameters there of the space that the lights are going to go in. But you can actually go in a little deeper. So if you go into here into fixtures, highlight the fixtures that you want, and click this right here, what this is going to do is it's going to set fixture limits. So even farther, more than what you could do in the move settings, you can actually go in here to the fixture limits, and you can make it so these things, so say this is the DJ booth is back behind us. We don't want these things to ever point towards the DJ booth. So you're going to go in to your tilt and say, I don't want them to go behind me. So boom, block them off. They can't go behind you now. They're only going to shoot forward, and say, okay, we don't want them shooting to the sides either. We want them only in front of the booth. So you can do this, tighten things up. So now your movers are only going to move in that area, right? So pretty cool settings that you can do in here with that. I found that super helpful when you're having your movers up on totems and you want them to only shoot forward. Go in here and you can set your fixture limits. And that, guys, is a basic dive into the Wolfmix. Hopefully you found that informative. I know for me, when I first opened this thing up, it was like learning Spanish, you know, but after messing with it and watching some videos, I got to the point where I am now. I feel really comfortable with it. I feel really comfortable making presets and scenes and things like that, and you can really dive in and customize it once you get that workflow down. But hopefully the dive that I just showed you guys will speed up the process for you, and hopefully you learned something today. If you like this video, leave me a comment down below. If there's something else that you want to know about the Wolfmix, let me know down in the comments as well. I pretty much touched on just about everything, I feel like. So if there's something that I missed or anything like that, let me know. But as always, guys, if you're new around here, please consider subscribing. Please click that like button and click that notification bell so you can get notifications of my upcoming videos. Peace.